Hello everyone. So here with the updated list for the my Grixis Dragon control. So I have decided to kind of get rid of some of one-offs, of course, and try to make the list more square. So one interaction that really proved to be super strong and really one of the key cards is the ill-timed explosion. So I decided to bump up the number of high-cost card, and I did that by upping the virtue of persistence to 3x. This card is so good because it's very good to play early game. It's very good as a discard out for ill-timed explosion, and it's also a good finisher. Also helps sometimes in some situation with other discard-based like reanimator kind of decks, as you can steal their own creatures. So that's just so good. And you can see I have a good package of high cost spells. I decided to run one off of Did the Cover Up because that was the card I was constantly getting with my first Nightwind avatar when I was in a hurry. And it's also very useful to get rid of some stuff in the graveyard, some with the win conditions. They're like reanimator stuff, like the superior Spider-Man stuff and everything. So that's the package that really proved to be the most important on the deck. This deck really is really good against aggro now. And with the high cost of Virtue of Persistence and the River Regent, I can also deal with, of course, Ugin. I don't want to discard it usually, but sometimes you need to. I can also deal with most threat from mono green. So that is also a matchup that's vastly improved with this version of the deck. The matchup that really got worse a little bit is against control. I don't have the instant speed card draw from my dragons that I was used to run, but the one that will steal the card from the top of his library. But yeah, I mean, something has to give, and that card was getting the lower number of those cards I was running, the worse they were getting. And I'm talking about the one that makes the treasure, the dragon that makes treasure. So this one, Decadent Dragon. So that was fun. That was really fun. Was very powerful against mid-range and control. I mean, there's no mid-range in the format, I would say. So really good against control and also very good against random decks. I noticed that I'm getting like, I don't know. It's not really easy to prove, but I feel like I'm worst off now with like random decks. I'm worst off against control for sure, but I'm so much better now against like aggro and mono green, and it's really worth the trade-off. The rest of the package remains the same. I still run the 4x of exclusive nightclub as my discard outward rolling Dragonstorm, and of course some Mana River Agent, and of course ill-timed explosion. And I don't know if there's any changes really in the sideboard. Oh yeah, Mox Jasper is out from the main deck. I upped the land count to 26, and yeah, that's really a lot better, as the first Mox might be a dead card, and but it's still one of the first card that I grab from the sideboard when I'm in danger. Of course, I decided to play one Seer as it's against the beast that it's a 3/2/4 or 3/4 that when it gets tapped you can get to play a card from your hand for free combo, and it's also just generic removal. I don't know if that's staying. I've seen that deck a couple of times, and it's a bad matchup when they resolve Cavern of Souls. Um, um, I might be better off with the dragon that actually kills the lands. That was in Magmatic Hellkite. I don't know if I'm gonna get him back because sometimes I really need to get rid of Cavern of Souls. But my deck also has a lot of like other answers other than counter spells. It has a lot of counter spells for sure, but it's not only counter spells. And yeah, that might be a consideration. I don't know what to get out there, but we'll see. We'll see. Let's play a couple of games, I would say, and see how it fares now. I had a hard time going back to Flattening now. Yeah, as I told you, it was harder. I'm fine. I'm conquering. I'm getting a lot less one wide. Like a lot less one wide. Almost never fade one. Happens in my previous stream. I think I never maybe met one wide. But when I built the deck, I was playing so many one wide. That was a good matchup for me. So that's how I really came to appreciate the deck at first. So that's kind of without counter spells. I am the risk of losing the land. Okay, so that is some kind of aggro, so that was not very cool. Gain life is gonna be useful. Okay, as always on stream, I just get the most biggest random decks. Dragonfly Swarm is nice. I have two of them. I find it's a good balance. It's a speed bump against aggro, and it's a win condition against a lot of decks. I won many games from like just getting a Dragonfly out and then bashing twice with him and winning the game against control or on a green even. Yeah, it's powerful. It's a very nice card. It's kind of a glue. Probably one of the weakest card of in the deck. Probably the weakest one in vacuum, but really synergizes so good with everything else. And another thing is that I got rid of the this card for 1 mana that has flashback 5, one that exiles a card from the opponent hand. And I didn't talk about that, but I decided to play. Let's see, another one off. I hope I can show you later when I play. So now it's time to nightclub, I guess. Spell things up. And Upland didn't get very good, so. Okay, did the opponent just scoop? Maybe. Okay. I don't have any lesson in it right now. If you click forward and new lessons, I didn't check the list. Spoiler is out. Without yesterday, but we have time to check. So yeah, the card I added one off now is called Dreams of Laguna, and it basically serves the same purpose as the exile card, which is card advantage, filtering. In this case, it's also filtering because it serves Veils 1. And the better thing is that it is a speed and it does do damage when I discard it with time explosion. And that is a key aspect that I needed, because sometimes I just need my Dragonfly to survive and wipe a couple of small guys on the board. And just having a random 2-mana card is a lot better. One thing that went out is the No Escape, the one that takes out hexproof from your opponent, because I really didn't need that. There was no need for it's eventually it was instant speed, because I have so many -3/-3 now in the form of virtual resistance, and I really don't have hard time with this hexproof anymore. Maybe to the power up and the 7 damage that I can give resistance and explosion. So yeah, that was the one that went out. Might be a good moment to spell snare, because this is anything else. And now when Avatar comes out, or maybe to just play it safe. So they can reanimate for sure. That's fine. But I have spell spears backup for that. They're not gonna run. They're not gonna. Yeah, they could. They could run Superior Spider-Man here. That would be very sad. But I also have the cover up. So yeah, I would say. And just for advantage. I might regret it later. I don't better off some graveyard stuff. I have 2 cards against river decks because sometimes you lose the first one and you need to move the second one. And nice. That's a good target for puzzle. Basically, I was already using deck because of all the skeletons. Like 3. That was awful. Okay, that's awful as well. So I didn't draw anything to deal to that driver. It foggies, bomb visions. Yeah. What am I supposed to do with this? So I can just stall, I would say. What do I get rid of first? I have 2 witches in existence, so I can get. So that was enters, so we also get to score 5 again. Yeah. Why wouldn't he be able to that? So I think I'm just going to yeah, first vacuum, one, and close vacuum. The other one is Soul Guide Lantern. So I'm going with the Ghost Vacuum. It's also like I've seen people main deck that, and it makes sense. That's for sure. Still want to keep Claw. If it doesn't do anything, it's dead next turn. It doesn't get expected. Because that doesn't solve the problem for me. Double. I see no lifelink. Is he gonna approach me? Yeah, it's now in Avatar. Card advantage again. There was some kind of angel that did the same thing. Like you grab other copies of the same angel from outside the game. And I basically did that. That's why I played one and decided. Game number 2. Spells now. Here's Dream of Laguna that I was talking about. That's fine. I'm not gonna get a spell snare on turn 2 unless I draw. This is and that doesn't play straight to this result. That is not part of anything. So yeah, here we're running for the explosion. Bad rate. Yes. So not looking good. Yeah. Bad flyers surprising. Even a small one. That's like it's good. That's another reason. There's still very good blockers. At least he doesn't have the skeleton missing. So I'm gonna wipe here for 2. That's that. There's no way. I'm not even getting the blue untapped land. Yes. Yes. He wants things now. I sure needed the Regent. Sure. I'm gonna drop that to this too. That means 3 steps ahead is not currently. I'm not gonna drop the Dragonstone. That's too low for the matchup. Dream of Laguna is also too slow for the matchup. I guess I'm gonna keep the Spell's Nest. Oh, wait, Spell's Nest do not have any targets in this matchup. Bonus. Why just oh, I forgot. There's no way to pump toughness in black. Maybe I could have read this. We have spells now. Back up, or the removal is gonna come now. Yeah. We'll only have 2 of them. Okay. Oh. So up down on the board. Sorry. That ooh, that was nice. I got so late. With that timeline color is such a pain for my deck. Yeah, mono black aggro is a lot worse than mono white for me to deal with. And I didn't see mono. I mean, I'm not looking at the charts every day. Is mono white still a thing in the format? Okay, shocking realization. Yeah, mono white is not on the menu anymore. I figured it out by playing, but I didn't look at the website. So it's a prowess. Is that a good matchup for us? So-and-so. It doesn't have many spells near targets. The Leak Shot is the best one for sure, and that's it, really. And the Roaring Furnace, half. So that's already something not great. Riddler is kind of slow, and the Author, of course, is a huge PETA. Pain, yeah. So this is a good deck against us, I would say, slightly favored, but it's not as bad. Like it's not terrible to deal with. It doesn't run Cavern of Souls, so if we're on the play, we can deal with that, no problem. Then we have Mono Green Landfall. This has the best spells in our target, and yeah, it became a good matchup. And now that we have more ways of dealing 7 damage, so we can deal with a resolved. What is that? Oh, it doesn't play Orboroid anymore. That makes sense. I guess it was not that powerful in the first place compared to the other stuff that it's running now. So I would say that's a balanced matchup. Maybe slightly unfavorable. As always, depends whether you're on the play or on the draw. And is it playing Cavern of Souls? No, but this is even worse. Probably some. Yeah, this is like uncounterable creatures with haste. So that's not good. Another reason to maybe get back the Dragon or Earth Destroyer. And this is also a deck where you can try to get against Forest with Mass Removal and Exile. Just remove the Forest. It's a Lessons. That's a bad matchup because of the Monument. We are very slow to deal with any Resolve Monument, and it's very, very, very good against us. And that's another reason to have Spell Pierce in the deck. Monument Endurance is huge against us. And so I would say this is like a very lucky bet. They have some hands that do nothing. I've played against Easy Lessons that didn't do anything to me, and I've played Easy Lessons that would just quench my dragon and win. It just plays too quencher, but if they quench your first Northwind avatar, you're probably dead. So I would say it's a balanced matchup. Spell Elementals, that's another matchup that was vastly improved by dealing 7 damage to everyone. So this is still bad for us, because they can easily get a huge turn where they just vomit their hand. Yeah, I guess that was also improved by the addition of the Cover Up. So that really helped a lot against this. Don't know how many counter spells I played. 2 spells there, 2 Spell Pierce, that's huge against us. Spell Pierce might cut us, but that's the only, only the 2. We only have to fear 2 Spell Pierce, really. Dimmer's Treasure. So this version apparently just lists 1 Cavern of Souls, so that means it's very easy for us to deal with, because that's the only card we really have problem with. Everything else here is just costly or does nothing against us. I mean, yeah, this seat can strip our hand. If this is outside of Spell Snare, sadly, so that's another way they can really deal with us a little bit, like playing a D-seat on turn 2 when we have Spell Snare up. They don't have great targets in the early game for Spell Snare. They just have the removal. So if I play a dragon, I have to play a dragon with Spell Snare backup, that's for sure.